Hello there, everybody, and today for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I am reviewing Tale of Tiger Claw. I am super pumped to review this episode. This episode I don't remember too much, but rewatching it, I gotta say, it's easily the more high stakes episode, and we finally get to learn Tiger Claw's backstory. So, the episode opens with Tiger Claw talking to Super Shredder, who's still looking for Karai, but he's not doing well because, he's Super Shredder, and all that mutagen is just too much for him. But Tiger Claw is interrupted by Bebop and Rocksteady, who are ready to make their next move, but for some reason, Tiger Claw is having a vision of some fox-like mutant being and some blade of some sorts, and they're wondering what it is, but Tiger Claw blows it off. But that's where the episode opens, with the turtles fighting what appears to be a drunk Splinter, who decides to fight. Well, drunk of some sort? I don't know. It's not really said if it's alcohol. It's causing him to talk very, different, and so he fights each of the turtles very silly. He ends up, I think he spits on Leonardo. He knocks down Donnie and Raph, Mikey, and he even takes down Casey. April doesn't take him down, though. But he says how they're worthy adversaries except for Casey. And he's saying how he's a good fighter. And that scene was definitely entertaining. It was interesting seeing a drunk Splinter. And we honestly don't know if it's alcohol or not, since, they can't have that in a kid's show. But I think what happens next is, I think it's Splinter, I'm pretty sure, who gets the vision that Tiger Claw's been having. And so that's where it leads to the turtles to go on a trail of some sort, where then Tiger Claw then almost encounters one of his worthy adversaries that is after him, that being Alopex. I think that's her name. And she's from the IDW comics. She's much different in those comics than in this show. I mean, she does join the Foot Clan in the IDW comics, but in this, we do learn about her backstory. It's where her and Tiger Claw grew up at the schoolyard, but a random Krang wormhole opens, and they thought it was a magic door, surprisingly, since they were little kids. But because of that, they got captured by the Krang and were experimented on, and were turned into a mutant tiger and Alopex. And they became circus show people, but instead they decided to turn their life into the mob. And Alopex is now out for revenge, and she is the one who actually tore off Tiger Claw's tail. So this kind of retcons what Tiger Claw said in season 2 originally, where he said some person he referred to as he, but he chopped off Tiger Claw's tail. I thought it was a human, but it turns out it was Alopex the whole time. But she's out for revenge, and she can move really fast, and so the turtles are out on patrol looking for what lead they could have. But that's where they do bump into Alopex. I gotta say, her design looks really cool. She gets a Tails vibe from Sonic, and she's apparently looking for these two sharp blades of some sort to kill Tiger Claw. And apparently it comes with a special twist. That's where Raph and Casey try to confront her. Sorry this photo ain't the best, but they try to confront her. They end up losing, but Casey ends up getting scratched by one of the blades. And it turns out these blades are special. And it turns out if you get scratched, even just a little cut can cause you to get cursed. And that's what happens to Casey. Once the turtles get into a little squirmel with, I think, Tiger Claw and a few of Bebop and Rocksteady, it doesn't go well, but they go back to the lair, and they try to research what has happened, but bad luck keeps coming to Casey. Donnie accidentally opens his sharp blade on his bow staff. Mikey accidentally shoots like shurikens at Casey. And he's cursed and he does not like it at all. So the only way to break this curse is if the blade is broken or if Alopex is scratched herself, passing the curse on to her. And so they go out look hunting for Alopex, who runs super fast, where she does confront Tiger Claw, and the two begin to fight. And she is ready for her revenge. And so the turtles do kind of just come in the way so they can break Casey's curse. And so they confront her. But, she does reveal how to break the curse. And I think they are able to break one of the blades. But the episode kind of ends quickly. But here's the shocking twist. When they do defeat Tiger Claw in a big battle, Tiger Claw actually tries to shoot Alopex, and because they've made amends. But Tiger Claw tries to shoot her, but she just slices his arm off, and they don't show getting sliced off in blood, but it's like a cutaway, and then we see the arm on the floor, and it's ooh, and even Bebop comments how it's gross. And honestly, and then Raph makes a comment about how he's not going to be using two hands anymore. So the Tiger Claw loses a lot of limbs in this show. First it's the tail when we first meet him, then he loses an eye, and now he's lost his hand. Like, I was thinking, what could be next? Is he going to lose his entire body? But that's the only time he loses limbs. It shows how deadly Tiger Claw is. Like, he's willing to take a beating. He even loses his arm, but still, it's brutal. And that's the last we see of Tiger Claw until the next episode, which I'm super pumped to talk about. I forget if he's in that episode or not. I have to rewatch it. But this episode was really good. Alopex is a really interesting character. It just sucks that she wasn't really in the show after this episode. Honestly, if they did something in season 5, we could have honestly saw her again. I'd like to see what she'd like to do if she had to fight Tiger Claw again. But the show wasn't shy away from showing some brutal stuff, like having Tiger Claw lose his hand for sure. But I felt my only issue with this episode is just I felt it was kind of rushed at the end. I thought the episode kind of just ends. But this was a pretty good episode. It explores Tiger Claw's origin well, and we finally learn what led down his dark path. He started off as just a normal kid, and now, because of the Krang, he now went down a dark path. And so he's always been on this dark path. So it makes Tiger Claw a more complex character, in my opinion. But in the next episode, I'm not going to spoil it, but that episode I'm super excited to talk about. It's probably some of the most major TMNT moment. But that's your little hint. But you probably, if you're watching this or not, but you probably know what I'm talking about. So I'd probably give this episode an 8 out of 10. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power.